Good afternoon. My name is Alexander Balazs, a 6 years student of Industrial Civil Engineer at the University of Los Andes, and today we'll talk about my professional internship at ACH, a company in the submanagement of Administration of General Services. My internship arose from the need to have clarity regarding the usability and efficiency of the fleet of vehicles that ACH has available for its workers, since there was no clear information that allowed to evaluate the situation of the vehicles at each location, and thus conclude, for example, if they were really being used correctly, if vehicles had to be removed from the location, etc. This highlighted a problem in decision making regarding the vehicle fleet, because without copies of measurement that accounted for the situation at each location, decisions lacked a solid foundation, leading to inefficiency and potential incorrect allocations. Thus, my internship consisted first of analyzing all the databases related to the use of the H fleet, and then proposing a solution that will allow for a quantitative analysis of its usability and efficiency. So, for the period from October to December 2025, I began by analyzing databases such as vehicle usage, reservation, kilometers traveled, payment, etc. Then I created a series of KPIs and performed monthly calculation to measure the most relevant aspect of the fleet, such as the percentage of day of use on weekdays and kilometers traveled compared to the expected mileage, based on zone and assignment calculations, weekend usage, and so on. In addition, throughout this period, I also learned about the fleet operation, which involved attending several meetings with the companies involved, Meta and Transit, and with the fleet managers at H. Now I did all of this manually. So then I started developing a method for visualizing and automating these calculations so that anyone could obtain the necessary metrics for any month. Thus, from an engineering point of view, the most important challenge was precisely to achieve the automation of the entire process of calculating and subsequently visualizing the data. To accomplish these two tasks, I decided to use Power BI. So I started by writing code directly within the platform that will take the uploaded files, calculate the KPIs, and then display them. However, when I tested the code on a new file, it proved to be very inefficient. Therefore, I decided to start all over again, but this time using Excel macros. Through codes that had to be executed in a specific order, the files were cleaned up and all the KPIs calculated in seconds. So Power BI only had to handle the visualization. Furthermore, I structured the codes so that the resulting sheets were copied into an Excel spreadsheet, depending on the file type, containing all the completed months. These consolidated spreadsheets were connected to Power BI, so whenever a new month was added, only had to press the refresh button in Power BI. This allowed to visualize the various calculate elements for all location and all months in the different sheets created in Power BI. Thus, as the final result of my internship, I managed to develop a tool that allows for the almost automatic visualization of the fleet real world status, which impacts the entire organization due to the cost that maintaining the fleet incurs for H. In summary, my internship was extremely useful as H can now make data driven decisions regarding its vehicle fleet. They can view, for example, for any given month, the usage level, days, and kilometers for both individual vehicles and the entire fleet, identify which vehicles are underutilized, determine if a vehicle was used on holidays, calculate the approximate mileage remaining until vehicle maintenance is due, etc. All of this will allow for more efficient and effective management, resolving the efficiency issues associated with such a critical resources as the vehicle fleet allocated to their employees. In conclusion, I must say that my internship as H was invaluable, both personally and professionally. Professionally, I learned to use tools like Excel macros and Power BI to work with data, and I also learned to work in a collaborative and challenging environment. On the other hand, from a personal point of view, H was an excellent place to do my internship, where I felt very welcome and where they organized various activities that went beyond professional work. And I learned to adapt to mistakes and to move forward in a professional environment.